Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis just got outed big time in the 4th Georgia State Senate Investigation Committee hearing as a part of its probe into alleged misconduct by District Attorney Fani Willis. The main whistleblower, Amanda Timpson, who served as Willis's Director of Juvenile Diversion Programs, but says she was demoted and eventually fired. And apparently, they say that her termination was after she became a whistleblower and complained about the misuse of funds. Some of the things that Amanda Timpson revealed in her testimony: when Willis took office in 2021, her subordinate Michael Kufi told Timpson that he planned to use the funds to purchase computers, travel, and swag as a part of the office's rebranding upon Willis's administration. Then there's DA's summer program called the Junior DA Program. Those funds were allocated specifically to help Fulton County youth in middle and high school grades. But Timpson testified that the first summer program under Willis's administration included students from other states, relatives of government officials, and one of Willis's family members. Previous state Senate hearings revealed that oversight of Willis's $36 million budget was like the Wild Wild West with very little control. Fulton County Commissioner Rob Pitts and Fulton County Chief Financial Officer Sharon Whitmore testified that Willis has broad discretion over those taxpayer dollars, including whether to hire a special prosecutor and how much they should be paid. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Timpson also testified that in 2020, shortly after Willis was elected, that Nathan Wade, with whom Willis is alleged to have an improper affair with, was part of every interview panel for Willis's incoming staff. But see, Wade would not be hired as special prosecutor until roughly a year later. Willis hired Wade in November 2021 to help prosecute the sweeping racketeering case against former President Donald Trump related to allegations of election interference. So what's he doing interviewing applicants like Timpson a whole year before he was hired? Definitely makes you think whether Fani Willis was really telling the truth about when their supposed relationship really started, you know? Definitely a lot of questions about the inner workings of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Just recently, the Department of Justice discovered alleged inconsistencies in Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's use of some federal grant money. Willis's office was also recently flagged for potentially high-risk spending practices, according to a new report. So what do you think? Would you trust Fani Willis with such a high office, let alone with one of the biggest trials in American history against the former President Donald Trump, no less? All the details in today's video. Definitely do not go away, guys. But first, here's the leaked audio of Amanda Timpson confronting DA Fani Willis about the misuse of campaign funds. Check it out.
Bombshell new audio appears to show a whistleblower privately warned embattled Georgia DA Fani Willis that her top aide was abusing federal funds. Now, in the audio, Willis appears to agree with this whistleblower and say that she'd look into it. Yet a little less than 2 months later, the staffer who raised the concerns was fired. Let's take a listen to that audio.
He told everybody in front of Crystal, Deontay, everybody, we're going to get MacBooks, we're going to do that, we're going to get swag, we're going to use it for travel. I said, you cannot do that. It's a very, very specific grant. Took me off. I questioned Junior DA. There's kids in there from out of the county, all this. Took me off Junior DA. I did not want to do it. He made it look as if I wasn't doing what I needed to do because I questioned him. Because I knew for a fact Mr. Cuffey respectfully did not know what he was doing, period.
So I respect that is your assessment. It was clear to me that you and Mr. Cuffey were not getting along. And I'm not saying that your assessment is wrong. I want you to really listen to the words I'm saying.
Cuffey, and this is my personal opinion, to one woman to another, is dangerous to your administration.
So yeah, as you heard, Fani Willis tells Timpson that she was going to look into this, but shortly after, Timpson ends up getting fired instead. And with the way that Timpson spoke in that recording and the Georgia Senate hearing, people comment how this woman is much more articulate and credible than Fani is. Some even say that Fani was lucky to have Amanda in her employ. Amanda definitely comes across as intelligent, poised, and very competent. What do you think, guys? And now this intelligent, poised, and very competent woman is blowing the whistle on the Georgia DA spending. Timpson gave her testimony in the 4th Georgia State Senate Investigation Committee hearing as a part of its probe into alleged misconduct by District Attorney Fani Willis. Timpson shared that after she raised concerns about how her boss, Willis's office, was inappropriately using federal grant money, she faced overwhelming retaliation and pushback. She was initially involved in securing a grant aimed at supporting at-risk youth and preventing crime. But when Willis came into power in 2021, things took a completely different turn. Her new supervisor and Willis's subordinate, Michael Kufi, had other plans for the funds, like buying computers, travel, and in their words, swag as a part of the office's rebranding upon Willis's administration. When Timpson objected, her boss ignored her warnings and pushed forward with his plans, insisting that this was all part of Willis's new vision for the office, and even included everyone addressing her as Madame. Timpson said that she wanted Willis to be aware of the misuse of funds to protect her and to protect the integrity of grants. She said that after Willis was made aware of Timpson's warnings, she was demoted to the position of file clerk. The situation escalated to the point where Timpson was fired and ultimately escorted out by security, and according to Timpson's testimony, Willis even made completely slanderous statements about her employment history, making it difficult to secure her next job. According to Timpson, it made her life extremely hard and her family's life extremely hard. So she showed up there in the Georgia Senate hearing to fight for her reputation, to fight for the youth of Fulton County, but also for the truth. Timpson also pointed out that the funds meant to help local youth, they were instead used for a summer program that benefited relatives of government officials and out-of-state students, including Fani Willis's own niece. She was talking about a federal justice assistance grant intended to fund the DA's summer program called the Junior DA Program. Those funds were allocated specifically to help Fulton County youth in middle and high school grades. But Timpson testified that the first summer program under Willis's administration included students from other states, relatives of government officials, and one of Fani Willis's family members. According to Timpson, it was essentially a summer program for the most privileged youth in and around the country. There were elected officials' grandkids there, Fani Willis's niece, and what she represented as her niece from Florida attended. Timpson even said that they went and picked up the niece every morning from her office. She also recalled that a child of a DeKalb County judge was also in attendance. That's why she said that this was not a crime prevention program for at-risk youth in Fulton County. Now, if this were confirmed, it's just so sad that this didn't get done for the children because of greedy government workers. This all came to light as Georgia's Senate decided to investigate Willis after other questionable activities had been brought up, revealing a pattern of loose financial oversight and discretionary spending in her office. Heading the Georgia Senate committee investigating is Georgia State Senator Bill Cowsert. According to Cowsert, oversight of Fani Willis's $36 million budget was like the Wild Wild West. Very little oversight, very little control. And that's why people are hailing Amanda Timpson as a hero for speaking the truth. All right, so here's a great spot for a break. If you're finding the deep dive as intriguing as I do, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps support the channel and it ensures that you don't miss out on more investigative reports like this one. Also, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel to stay updated on all of our latest content. We're all about uncovering the truth and bringing these critical insights right to your screen. All right, so let's get right back to it. At that hearing earlier this month, Fulton County Commissioner Rob Pitts and CFO Sharon Whitmore testified that Fani Willis has broad discretion over those taxpayer dollars, $36.6 million to be precise, deciding things like hiring special prosecutors and setting their pay without needing to check in first. In one exchange, Cowsert highlighted a big concern to Whitmore. They don't know how much of that is spent on professional services, who is hired, how much they're paid per hour, what their compensation is, yet they're being asked to provide $36.6 million a year that they know encompasses a number of those types of independent contractors that they know they're funding with no oversight or control. Pitts also pointed out that Fani Willis can hire independent special counselors without prior approval to assist with her cases. Hence, the questionable hire of her lover, Nathan Wade, in the big Trump case. Connected to this, lawyer Ashley Merchant, representing Donald Trump co-defendant Michael Roman, shared that Fani Willis had a budget increased by $780,000 in September 2021, and that this funding bump happened just a few months before Wade was hired in November 2021, and roughly 8 months before the special grand jury in this case was impaneled in May 2022. Merchant said that the DA claimed that this money was to hire extra people to help with the backlog of homicide cases that the office was seeing at that time. But when Merchant tried to verify through open records whether the office was actually hiring new employees or just contractors, her request was denied by the DA's office. Timpson added to the controversy about Nathan Wade when she testified that right after Fani Willis took office in 2020, Nathan Wade was part of every interview panel for Fani Willis's incoming staff. But Wade wasn't officially hired as a special prosecutor until about a year later in November 2021 to help with the major RICO racketeering case against former President Donald Trump concerning alleged election interference meddling. Now, this is pretty suspicious considering that both of them denied having an affair before Wade was hired. Cowser is a bit skeptical about that timing. In an interview with Fox News Digital, he said Wade, for a whole year, was her confidant and collaborator on running the office before he gets hired. And then she's acting like it was just something that happened in the summer of 2022, that they began a relationship months after the hiring. That's a dubious claim, you know? The Department of Justice also recently brought up alleged inconsistencies in Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's use of some federal grant money. They're still confirming the specific details about what inconsistencies were found, what the specific grant was intended for, or what the funds may have been used for. But I think you guys can agree with me here. There's definitely a pattern of controversy when it comes to Fani Willis's professional behavior, don't you think? In fact, according to a report of the Fulton County Procurement Review produced by North Carolina-based accounting firm Sherry Beckert and published on April 4th, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office and Fulton County District Attorney's Office were rated as having a high-risk level of their procurement and spending activities. The report added that Fani Willis's office had used prosecutorial discretion in purchasing decisions and that there was a reduced accountability over the purchasing tendencies of some constitutional offices and elected offices. This led to an increased risk of damage to the reputation of the county. So yeah, Fani Willis, the people have some questions. I mean, I think that we've established in this video how questions about integrity and accountability are at the forefront of this investigation into DA Fani Willis. And as more details unfold, it becomes even more critical to stay informed. That's why before you go, don't forget to like this video, comment, and share this video. Your engagement really helps us push these discussions into the spotlight and make sure that accountability isn't just a word thrown around, but it's a real standard helping up uphold. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next one.